When you think about aliens, you probably think about these. Aliens come in all shapes and sizes. Some are green, some are blue, some are cute, and others really creepy. The way we see aliens is only restricted by our imagination. So what is it about aliens that scares us? The fear of aliens, known as xenophobia, not to be confused with the fear of strangers or foreigners, is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon rooted in various psychological and cultural factors. Humans often fear what they cannot understand or predict. Extraterrestrial life is mysterious and unknowable, a race of beings that do not play by any rules, and thus can evoke anxiety in us. We have evolved to be cautious and wary of the unfamiliar as a survival mechanism. In the distant past, the unknown could pose potential threats. The idea of encountering beings with advanced technology or capabilities beyond human understanding leads to a sense of powerlessness or a fear of losing control over one's environment. What if we were no longer at the top of the food chain? What if we became the prey? Alien life forms also raise existential questions about humanity's place in the universe. The idea of beings from other worlds could prove to be challenging, as it causes us to question our worldview and beliefs about human uniqueness. Were we really as intelligent as we were led to believe? Today, we're going to take a look at some examples of aliens in books, movies, games, and real-life cases to explore some of the ways in which aliens confuse and terrify us.
Lexipu.
Translated as The Shapes is a science fiction novel written by French author
J.H. Rony est né.
The book was first published in 1887 and is considered one of the earliest works in the science fiction genre. The novel revolves around the discovery of mysterious extraterrestrial beings called the
Lexipu.
by a group of explorers.
Lexipu.
Are described as an ancient and powerful alien species with advanced technology. The plot unfolds as the explorers learn about the history and nature of these creatures. While the novel may not be as well known as some later works in the science fiction genre, it holds historical significance as a pioneering piece of speculative fiction. The themes of encountering alien civilizations and the consequences of such encounters have since become central to many science fiction stories. The War of the Worlds is a science fiction novel written by H.G. Wells, first published in 1898. The narrative begins in Woking, England, where the protagonist and narrator, an unnamed man, observes strange occurrences on Mars through a telescope. Soon after, cylindrical objects crash into Earth, revealing themselves to be colossal tripods carrying Martians. The Martians are depicted as tall, thin creatures with a roughly humanoid shape. They have a greyish, metallic appearance, and their bodies are described as being dominated by a large, round head. The Martians travel to Earth in gigantic, three-legged machines known as tripods. These tripods are armed with advanced weaponry, including a powerful heat ray, which they use to devastating effect against human civilization. As chaos ensues, the narrator, along with others, attempt to escape the Martian onslaught. The invaders, however, prove to be highly adaptable, and their technological superiority overwhelms Earth's military forces. The narrator witnesses the destruction of major cities and the collapse of society as the Martians advance. Amid the devastation, the Martians face an unexpected obstacle: their vulnerability to Earth's microorganisms. The bacteria and viruses, harmless to humans, prove deadly to the Martians, lacking immunity. This unforeseen susceptibility becomes the downfall of the alien invaders. The novel ends with the narrator falling ill and recovering, discovering that the Martians have succumbed to Earth's microbes. Humanity, despite enduring near annihilation, ultimately survives the extraterrestrial threat. The War of the Worlds is not just a thrilling tale of interplanetary conflict, but also a commentary on the vulnerability of technologically advanced civilizations and the unpredictable forces that can influence the course of history. The novel has inspired numerous adaptations in various media, showcasing its enduring impact on science fiction storytelling. The First Men in the Moon is another classic science fiction novel by H.G. Wells, first published in 1901. The story involves a journey to the moon and encounters with an alien civilization. The narrative is framed as a manuscript written by Mr. Bedford, an Englishman who recounts his experiences to a friend. Bedford meets an eccentric scientist named Mr. Cavell, who has developed a substance called cavorite that can negate the forces of gravity. Together they construct a spherical spaceship using cavorite and decide to travel to the moon. The two men launch their spacecraft and successfully land on the moon. To their surprise, they discover a subterranean lunar world inhabited by an insectoid, ant-like alien species known as the Selenites. The Selenites live in elaborate underground cities and have a complex social structure. The Selenites appear to have a collective consciousness, or hive mind. Their actions are coordinated, and decisions seem to be made collectively rather than individually. This collective nature is a significant aspect of their social structure. As Bedford and Cavell explore the moon, they encounter various challenges, including navigating the lunar environment and interacting with the Selenites. Eventually, the adventurers face perilous situations, and Cavell is captured by the Selenites. Bedford, determined to escape and return to Earth, manages to make his way back to the spaceship. He successfully launches the craft, leaving the moon and returning to Earth alone. Back on Earth, Bedford publishes an account of his adventures, sharing the incredible story of the first human expedition to the moon and the encounters with the alien inhabitants. The First Men in the Moon is a blend of adventure, science fiction, and social commentary, reflecting H.G. Wells' fascination with exploration and the unknown. A Martian Odyssey is a science fiction short story written by Stanley G. Weibaum, first published in 1934. The story is set on the planet Mars and follows the adventures of an Earth expedition exploring the Martian landscape. The narrative begins with the arrival of the first human expedition to Mars. One of the crew members, astronaut Dick Jarvis, is sent on a reconnaissance mission to explore the Martian landscape using an exploration vehicle called the Ares. During his exploration, Jarvis encounters a variety of strange, alien creatures. The most notable of these is a bird-like extraterrestrial being named Tweel. The Tweel is described as a bipedal creature with avian features. It has a beak, wings, and feather-like covering on its body. The creature's most distinctive feature is its ability to walk on two legs. Despite initial language barriers, Jarvis and Tweel form a bond and continue their exploration together. They face various challenges, including encounters with other Martian creatures and the harsh Martian environment. Along the way, Jarvis learns more about Tweel's abilities and culture, gaining insight into the diversity of life on Mars. The story is notable for its imaginative depiction of an alien ecosystem and its exploration of communication and understanding between different species. A Martian Odyssey is considered a classic of early science fiction and is celebrated for its creativity in portraying extraterrestrial life. Stanley G. Weibaum's contribution to the genre is recognized for influencing subsequent science fiction writers. The Star Maker is a philosophical science fiction novel written by Olaf Stapledon, first published in 1937. The narrative is presented as a cosmic vision experienced by an unnamed narrator. The novel begins with the narrator's out-of-body experience, expanding beyond the boundaries of Earth and the solar system. The narrator's consciousness then travels through space and time, encountering various alien civilizations and witnessing the evolution of intelligence and consciousness in the universe. As the journey continues, the narrator encounters a cosmic entity known as the Star Maker, an omnipotent and incomprehensible being responsible for creating and shaping the cosmos. The Star Maker has the power to conceive and bring into existence an infinite variety of worlds and life forms. The narrative explores the profound questions of existence, morality, and the nature of consciousness. The Star Maker's creations include not only physical worlds, but also the diverse civilizations and cultures that arise on these planets. The novel delves into the struggles and triumphs of these cosmic civilizations, reflecting on the broader implications of cosmic evolution. Throughout the vision, the narrator grapples with the immense scale of the universe and the complexity of ethical and metaphysical questions. The Star Maker's creations vary in terms of their morality, social structures, and levels of intelligence. The novel presents a kaleidoscope of cosmic possibilities, offering a meditation on the potentialities of existence and the responsibilities of intelligent beings. In the end, the narrator returns to Earth with a profound sense of awe and humility, having glimpsed the vastness of the cosmos and the interconnectedness of all things. The Star Maker is renowned for its ambitious scope, imaginative exploration of cosmic themes, and its philosophical reflections on the nature of the universe and consciousness. Alien is a classic science fiction horror film directed by Ridley Scott and released in 1979. The movie is known for its intense atmosphere, suspenseful pacing, and groundbreaking visual effects. The story follows the crew of the commercial spaceship Nostromo. They are awakened from their cryogenic sleep to investigate a distress signal coming from a nearby moon. Upon landing, they discover a derelict alien spacecraft and a chamber filled with mysterious eggs. One of the crew members, Kane, played by John Hurt, becomes the victim of a facehugger, an alien organism that attaches itself to his face and impregnates him with an alien embryo. The alien creature, referred to as a xenomorph, eventually emerges from Kane's chest and grows rapidly. It begins to stalk and kill the crew members, one by one. The remaining crew members, led by Warrant Officer Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, must confront the alien and try to survive as it picks them off. The film explores themes of isolation, claustrophobia, and the unknown. It cleverly blends science fiction with horror elements. Alien received acclaim for its tense atmosphere, strong performances, and innovative design work by artist H.R. Giger. The film's success led to a franchise that includes several sequels, prequels, comic books, and video games. Sigourney Weaver's portrayal of Ellen Ripley became iconic, and she went on to reprise the role in several sequels. The fear factor of this film is 5 hybrid xenomorphs out of 5. Ridley Scott expertly builds a claustrophobic atmosphere within the confines of the spaceship, aided by H.R. Giger's haunting and otherworldly set and creatures designs. The slow and deliberate pacing adds to the sense of impending doom, making you feel the character's anxiety and vulnerability. Communion is a 1989 science fiction horror film directed by Philippe Mora, based on the book of the same name by Whitley Strieber. The movie is a fictionalized account of Strieber's alleged experiences with extraterrestrial beings. Christopher Walken stars as Whitley Strieber, a successful author who, along with his family, experiences strange and terrifying events in their remote cabin, Strieber begins to have disturbing and surreal encounters with alien beings that leave him deeply unsettled. The film explores themes of alien abduction, the blurred line between reality and imagination, and the psychological impact of such encounters. Communion combines elements of horror and science fiction, often delving into psychological and existential aspects of the UFO phenomenon. While the film received mixed reviews, it has regained a following for its atmospheric and thought-provoking approach to the subject matter. Keep in mind that the events portrayed in the film are presented as speculative and are based on Strieber's personal accounts rather than proven facts. I'm giving the fear factor of this film 1 cowbell out of 5. The film is kinda stupid. Walken looks like he didn't even know he was in a film and was just going about his normal life, and generally it's just more funny than scary. Worth a watch just to see Walken get probed though.
Here I am, I'm naked. I'm naked. I'm talking to you like you were real. Go to hell.
Signs is a 2002 science fiction thriller film written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. The movie stars Mel Gibson, Joaquin Phoenix, Rory Culkin, and Abigail Breslin. It revolves around the mysterious appearance of crop circles on a farm and the subsequent events that unfold. The story follows Graham Hess, played by Mel Gibson, a former priest who has lost his faith after the tragic death of his wife in a car accident. Graham lives on a farm in rural Pennsylvania with his 2 children, Morgan, played by Rory Culkin, and Beau, played by Abigail Breslin, and his younger brother Merrill, played by Joaquin Phoenix. One morning, they discover intricate crop circles in their cornfield, sparking fear and confusion. As more strange phenomena occur around the world, Graham begins to suspect that the crop circles are connected to extraterrestrial beings. The film explores themes of faith, family, and the unknown as the characters try to make sense of the mysterious occurrences and prepare for a potential threat. Signs is known for its atmospheric tension, slow building suspense, and Shyamalan's trademark twist endings. The film received generally positive reviews for its effective storytelling and strong performances, particularly by Mel Gibson and Joaquin Phoenix. I'm giving the fear factor of this film 3 tinfoil hats out of 5. I found most of the movie quite interesting. The crop circles and strange occurrences on the farm contribute to an eerie atmosphere, which keeps you on edge. But to be honest, the aliens are kind of stupid, and the twist makes them seem even more ridiculous. It's still a fun watch, just don't take it too seriously. Nope is a 2022 American neo-Western science fiction horror film, written, directed and produced by Jordan Peele. The story revolves around the Haywood family, who handle horses for film productions in Agua Dulce, California. After a mysterious metallic object falls from the sky, strange events unfold, leading to a suspenseful and thought-provoking narrative. The film delves into the primal fear of encountering something beyond our understanding, the mysterious objects falling from the sky and their implications evoke a sense of dread and curiosity. The character of Ricky Jupe Park, a former child actor traumatized by his past experiences, highlights the impact of media on our psyche. His connection to a violent chimpanzee named Gordy serves as a metaphor for how media shapes our fears and memories. Nope blends Western, science fiction and horror to subvert familiar tropes and conventions, keeping viewers on edge. I'm giving the fear factor of this film 5 Gordies out of 5. I was already a fan of Jordan Peele's film Get Out, and found Nope to be just as thought-provoking, creepy and atmospheric. The film changes our cliched perception and superstitions of UFOs and presents something more realistic and savage. You might find it a little slow in places, but I would highly recommend giving it a watch if you're after something different in your alien horror films. Halo is a popular first-person shooter video game franchise created by Bungie and later managed by 343 Industries, a subsidiary of Xbox Game Studios. The series debuted with the release of Halo Combat Evolved in 2001 for the Xbox console. Since then, it has become one of the most successful and influential franchises in the gaming industry. The overarching narrative of the series follows Master Chief's efforts to thwart the Covenant's plans and protect humanity. The story delves into complex political and religious themes, exploring the relationships between various factions within the universe. In the game, the Flood is a parasitic alien species. They are an ancient extragalactic species known for consuming all forms of sentient life. They were encountered by the Forerunners, an advanced ancient race who fought a devastating war against the Flood. The Flood is a parasitic life form that infects and assimilates other beings into its collective consciousness. It takes over the host body and transforms it into various grotesque and dangerous forms. The Forerunners, in their desperate attempt to stop the spread of the Flood, created the Halo Array, a network of massive ring-shaped installations designed to wipe out all sentient life in the galaxy, starving the Flood of potential hosts. However, this plan also poses a threat to all other life forms. This game gets 5 John Halos out of 5. When I first encountered the Flood, I was instantly terrified of them. From the atmosphere and music that built up to the eventual meeting of them, to the desperate fight for survival, the Flood to this day still fills me with dread. Area 51 was developed by Midway Studios Austin and was released in 2005. The game is set in and around the infamous Area 51 facility and incorporates elements of science fiction and horror. The game follows the story of Ethan Cole, a hazardous materials specialist who is sent into Area 51 to investigate a viral outbreak. As the plot unfolds, players discover government conspiracies, genetic experiments, and encounters with extraterrestrial entities. The game was noted for having some interesting voice actors, such as David Duchovny, the dude from the X-Files, who voices the main character, and Marilyn Manson, who voices Edgar the Ancient and Powerful Grey. While Area 51 received mixed reviews from critics, it gained some popularity for its engaging storyline and atmospheric element. This game gets 2 famous voice actors out of 5. It's not that scary, but then again, I have never found the Greys very threatening, and with the ability to shoot them to oblivion, I felt even less intimidated by them. If you were ever interested in what might be hidden in Area 51, this game will indulge you. The Metroid video game series is a highly acclaimed action-adventure franchise created by Nintendo. The series is known for its exploration-based gameplay, atmospheric storytelling, and the iconic protagonist, Samus Aran. The overarching narrative of the series follows Samus's battles against space pirates and the parasitic Metroids. The story explores themes of isolation, identity, and the consequences of scientific experimentation. The titular creatures, Metroids, are energy-draining parasites that play a central role in the series. Originally created by the Chozo, an ancient and advanced alien race, Metroids become a focal point of conflict as various factions seek to exploit or control their power. Metroid Fusion gets 4 baby Metroids out of 5. The encounters with the SA-X are particularly memorable, reminding me strongly of the Alien movies in terms of isolation and the fight against a powerful foe. Basically, play any of the Metroids. They're all good games, even other M for laughs.
Ways to get here, and I should have got
the
baby.
There it is.
Okay,
there's one. You got your one.
Oh no, the baby!
Save me.
The Barney and Betty Hill incident is one of the most well-known cases of claimed alien abduction in the history of ufology. It occurred on the night of September 19th, 1961, in the White Mountains of New Hampshire, USA. Barney and Betty Hill were driving home from a vacation in Canada when they reported seeing a bright light in the sky. They claimed that the light seemed to be following their car, and as they continued their journey, they experienced a period of missing time. When they finally arrived home, they realized that several hours had passed without any recollection of what had occurred during that time. Under hypnosis conducted separately in 1964 by psychiatrist Dr. Benjamin Simon, the Hills recounted a detailed and similar story of being abducted by extraterrestrial beings. According to their accounts, they described encountering humanoid figures with large eyes, greyish skin, and slender bodies. The beings reportedly took the couple aboard a spacecraft, where they underwent medical examinations. The Hills' story gained widespread attention after it was publicised, and it became a landmark case in UFO folklore. The incident was the basis for the book, The Interrupted Journey, by John G. Fuller, published in 1966, which brought the Hills story to a larger audience. While the Hills' account has supporters who believe in the authenticity of their experience, some skeptics argue that the incident may be explained by various psychological and physiological factors, including sleep paralysis and false memories induced by hypnosis. The case remains controversial, and opinions on its validity vary within the UFO community and among researchers. The Travis Walton incident is another famous UFO-related event that took place in Arizona in 1975. Travis Walton, along with a group of fellow loggers, claimed to have encountered a UFO while working in the Apache Sitgreaves National Forest. On November 5, 1975, Walton and his co-workers were driving home from work when they reportedly saw a luminous object hovering above the trees. Walton, intrigued by the sight, got out of the truck and approached the craft. As he got closer, a beam of light from the UFO struck him, causing his co-workers to panic and drive away in fear. According to Walton, he was taken aboard the spacecraft and subjected to various medical examinations by humanoid beings. He claimed to have no memory of the events immediately following the abduction and woke up on the side of the road 5 days later. When Walton reappeared, he was disorientated, confused, and wearing clothes different from those he had on when he went missing. The other loggers initially hesitated to come forward with the story, fearing legal repercussions and public skepticism. However, after reporting the incident to the authorities, a massive search was launched to find Walton. The case gained widespread attention, and Walton's story became the basis for the 1993 film Fire in the Sky. The incident has been a subject of controversy, with some suggesting that it was a hoax, while others believe in the authenticity of Walton's abduction claim. The loggers maintained their accounts consistently over the years, contributing to the enduring mystery surrounding the Travis Walton incident. Despite the skepticism, Walton has stood by his story, and the case remains a significant and debated topic in UFO lore. These stories have sparked ongoing debates about the nature of the experiences, with proponents suggesting they provide evidence of extraterrestrial visitation, while skeptics attribute them to psychological phenomena, sleep disorders, or hoaxes. The subject of alien abductions remains a topic of fascination and speculation within popular culture and the field of ufology. From the dawn of humanity to the end of times, alien life will forever remain one of the universe's greatest mysteries. Astronomers estimate that there are some 100 billion to 200 billion galaxies in the universe, averaging 100 million stars apiece. It seems impossible that we humans would be the only living things in the cosmos. Contact from such beings could happen at any time. In what form these extraterrestrial beings could take is unknown, and whether they come in peace, only time will tell.
This is gonna be terrible. Get up! I'm cooking. I'm on a roll. What's the matter with you?